Good evening, 2 a.m. with Jason. Hope you guys are doing well. Um, today's message is about giving of your best, giving of your all, and the two verses came to my mind as I was thinking through that and praying through it. And the first one is in Matthew 10, and it talks about how when we give a cup of cold water in Jesus' name, it's for Him, which made me think about like the little things that we do are also for God. And so, how are we giving our best in service to others in honoring God, if that makes sense? I mean, the widow, she gave of everything she had, and my question is, do we? Uh, we have these raspberries. Thank you, Kevin and Carol McCreary. Thank you for helping us dig them up, and we planted them. And last year they didn't do a whole lot, but this year they came back wonderful. And the kids have loved it. Every time they walk down to the river, they pick some. And in fact, tonight Maggie's like, Ez, because Ez just kept running down, and she wanted to make sure that he got the raspberries, and so she picked a couple for him. As she's going down the hill. It was so funny. As Berry, as Berry, and and I thought about that, and I thought, man, like Maggie got it. Like she picked good ones, and she wanted to make sure that he got first instead of herself. Now she loves berries, loves them, but she was really looking out for Ez, and I thought, man, like as a parent, I try to do that. I try to be careful and say, man, don't pick the berries that are easy for my kids to reach, and make sure that they get before I take. Um, but here's a sibling who's not even two yet saying, man, how can I look out for my brother? And that just really grabbed a hold of my heart tonight. Of that is what I think this verse is talking about. How can I give my best, give my all, make sure that others are taken care of before myself? The other verse that connects with it is Luke chapter 6, and it kind of goes with if you were in the service this morning. I talked about how the whole lending and not expecting something in return, and it's hard. It is hard. Um, but if you look at those verses, verse 34 says, listen, if you lend to people that are going to give it back, like what credit is that to you? And then verse 35 says that here it is, you need to, how you treat your enemies, lend to those not expecting to get something in return. And that just kind of like, it concerned me. I'll say that, because I'm like, God, you have blessed me with these things, and it was incredible deals, and you just provided the way, and you want me to give this to someone and they might not give it back? God, like, I think you're supposed to take care of me. But the reality is that God is working on a bigger scale than we are, and that God desires a relationship with those people. And if that's through the sacrificing of the stuff that He has blessed us with, then we need to be able to do that. And that's hard for me. So I don't know if either of those connection points touch with you tonight. The one of how do we give, how do we bless, how do we make sure that others receive before ourselves? Something we try to teach our kids, but it is actually hard in practice if it's not our kids. And then also, how do we, when it comes to lending, when it comes to sharing, when it comes to saying, this is not mine, if you need this, even if I don't get it, like, how can I still be prudent and be kind and bless others with what God has given us? It's hard stuff, and yet none of it is ours. It's all God's. So may He receive the glory through what He does through you, tonight, today, tomorrow, this week, and how you interact with others with the stuff that God has put in your lap for the time that is now. Just a thought. Take care.